Hello and welcome to Inside South Asia with me, Bhairavi Singh. This week, we dedicate our show to women's empowerment, from those defining images of women who broke barriers and made a mark, to how in the elections 2024, it is all about wooing the female vote bank. We get you all the details, but first, a quick look at what else is making headlines across South Asia. Well, as the biggest democratic exercise on the planet takes off in India soon, we focus on political parties wooing women voters. It's a major vote bank, 470 million female voters. What do they want? Who will they vote for? Parties across the spectrum are pulling out all stops to win them over. Here's our Women's Day special on Inside South Asia.
Female voters up by 9.3% over 2019 Lok Sabha elections. Over 15% more newly enrolled women voters than males. In 12 states and union territories, women voters outnumber males. The numbers themselves tell a story. Explanation enough of why parties are reeling out a string of sops to woo the female voter base. That makes up close to 48% of the electorate.
कि देश के चार स्तंभ, देश की नारी शक्ति, देश की युवा शक्ति, देश के हमारे गरीब भाई बहन और देश के हमारे किसान, हमारे मछुआरे, हमारे पशुपालक जितने ज्यादा मजबूत होंगे, हमारा देश उतना ही समृद्ध होगा, उतना ही तेजी से समृद्ध होगा.
The ruling BJP's Lakpati Didi or Prosperous Sisters scheme looks to create 30 million financially self-reliant women in villages across India. It's a skill development program catering to women in rural areas. In Rajasthan, the BJP has come out with Lado Protsahan Yojana, an incentive scheme to finance school education for girls. On the anvil is a financial benefit scheme for rural women in West Bengal. In Himachal Pradesh, the Congress party has announced a money guarantee scheme for around 800,000 women, a promise to deposit money directly into their bank accounts. The budget for capital New Delhi has unveiled a $2.4 billion Mahila Samman or Respect for Women scheme. The AAP government in Delhi also allowed free travel for women in public buses. 402 million pink tickets or zero fare slips were issued in 2022-23. In Tamil Nadu, the DMK has allocated the rupee equivalent of $1.7 billion for its flagship program, Magalir Urimai Thittam. The Vidyal Payana Thittam, which provides free bus travel to women, is to be extended to hilly areas of the Nilgiris, Kodaikanal and Valparai. Thodi hostels for the welfare of working women to be constructed in Chennai, Coimbatore and Madurai. It's a long list, and there are no doubts on the importance that parties see in women as a vote bank. It extends to more tickets to women candidates, women party workers reaching out to the electorate, and more. India acknowledges women power.
Well, the Maldivian President Mohamed Moizu has said no Indian military personnel, not even those in civilian clothes, will be allowed in the island nation after May 10th. The statement comes just a day after the Maldives signed an agreement with China to receive military aid. Moizu is widely seen as a pro-China leader, and within hours of taking oath in November last year, he demanded that India remove its personnel from the country. But while Maldives remains strategically important, India is building a naval base just a few nautical miles away from the island nation as a counter.
India is all set to bolster its position further in the Indian Ocean region, with the formation of a new base on the Minicoy Islands in Lakshadweep. The Navy will commission the INS Jatayu, fortifying its security infrastructure with an eye on China. The commissioning ceremony, presided over by Chief of the Naval Staff, Admiral R. Hari Kumar, heralds a new chapter in naval operations. Minicoy was established as a naval detachment in the early 1980s, lying on the southernmost tip of the Lakshadweep archipelago in the Arabian Sea. It is only 70 nautical miles away from Maldives. It is a pivotal position overseeing vital sea lines of communications.
Jatayu is located in Minicoy. So Minicoy is the southernmost island in the Lakshadweep chain. It's the southernmost island in the western seaboard, and it's about 200 miles off the coast of India. So therefore, and it is located right next to the 9-degree channel, through which all this traffic, merchant traffic, as well as any traffic entering and exiting the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, comes through. So therefore, while we have always had a detachment there, naval detachments, by commissioning the base, it will help us in improving the operational infrastructure, the administrative support facilities.
The government says the base will enhance operational reach and our efforts towards anti-piracy and anti-narcotics operations in the Western Arabian Sea. It will also augment Indian Navy's capability as the first responder in the region and augment connectivity with the mainland. Given India's recent tensions with the Maldives after its President Mohammad Moizu asked for the removal of all foreign troops, the new base gains importance as an alternative in the Indian Ocean region. It also marks the second naval base in Lakshadweep after INS Dweep Rakshak in Kavarati, further consolidating India's maritime presence in the region. India has a similar base in the Andaman and Nicobar Island territories in the east, where INS Baz is positioned. The Indian Navy will operate both its aircraft carriers INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant near Lakshadweep. The new base will bolster India's operational prowess and make significant strides towards enhancing surveillance and operational reach.
Well, Shehbaz Sharif is back as Prime Minister of Pakistan. His party, the PMLN, is being propped up in the country's parliament by Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's PPP. But balancing equations with the Pakistan People's Party is just one of Sharif's many challenges. Floods and a natural disaster are sounding alarm bells in Balochistan. The economy is in a tailspin and the IMF is holding up major red flags. Here's more.
मैं मोहम्मद शहबाज शरीफ सदके दिल से हल्फ उठाता हूँ.
The man of the moment, Shehbaz Sharif takes oath as the 24th Prime Minister of Pakistan, a second term as PM for him. Present at the ceremony, his brother Nawaz Sharif, PPP Chief Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, Army Chief Asim Mudir, and several state chief ministers. Each of them will be in focus in weeks and months to come as Shehbaz Sharif takes the top job. How happy though is Pakistan's electorate with Shehbaz's return? Allegations of rigging raised by former Prime Minister Imran Khan's party persist. There are strong opinions on whether Shehbaz Sharif can correct long persisting ills. Skyrocketing prices and soaring cost of living are among the biggest of them.
Prime Minister,
he has become Prime Minister out of a fake vote, and I don't think Pakistan's condition will improve. The situation is further deteriorating and the people are nearly crushed under inflation. The electricity and gas prices have gone up. Transport is costly. I don't think this Prime Minister will be able to fix things.
Shehbaz Sharif's first test, the horrors of floods and days of torrential rains in Balochistan. At least 35 people are dead, many more are missing. Gwadar, the centerpiece of the prided CPEC project, is among the worst hit areas. Besides work on the project on hold, schools have been closed, roads blocked, highways washed away. On a visit to affected areas on Tuesday, the Prime Minister met victims of the floods, people bereaved and rendered homeless. He also announced a financial package for the region. For years, Balochistan has reeled under terrorism from local separatist groups. Now, this.
I'm not holding meetings on Gwadar Port or CPEC today. The aim of my coming here today is to meet you and convey my sympathies and to convince you that we will not forsake you at this difficult time.
Immediate calamity to long-standing economic woes that have hit Pakistan hard for months now. The next loan tranche from the International Monetary Fund will be critical. The current program ends in March. The IMF has recommended implementation of 18% general sales tax on food, medicine, petroleum products and stationery. For a people already reeling under high prices, the move won't go down well. And this comes tagged with other economy challenges. No room for populist decisions ahead. Outright public flak is the order of the day. It's the devil on one side, the deep blue sea on the other. Shehbaz Sharif and co. must brace for an uphill climb.
While Nepal's political leadership is playing the next edition of musical chairs and the Game of Thrones, Prime Minister Prachanda has decided to change alliance partners again. The three old men of Nepal, all in their 70s, continue to pull political strings, setting aside their differences to remain on top in a country with a massive youth demographic.
Nepal PM Pushpa Kamal Dahal or Prachanda with new alliance partner KP Sharma Oli of the CPN-UML setting up new alliance equations. 15 months into the coalition government, Dahal has parted ways with the Sher Bahadur Deoba-led Nepali Congress over presidentship of the National Assembly or Upper House. New faces have been added to the new government. 3 new ministers, Padam Giri from Oli's CPN-UML, Hit Bahadur Tamang from Dahal's CPN Maoist, and Dol Prasad Aryal from the Rashtriya Swatantra Party took oath. Nepal's new treasury benches now look like this. CPN Maoist led by PM Prachanda has 32 seats, KP Oli CPN-UML has 78 seats, and there are smaller parties RSP with 20 seats, JSP with 12 and Janmath with 6. Their total of 138 seats just makes it to the halfway mark of 138 members needed to form a government. On the opposition benches now will be the Nepali Congress led by Sher Bahadur Deoba. This, ironically, is the largest party in the House of Representatives with 89 seats. It's to be a new multi-party government in Nepal, not that there's likely to be any changes in the perpetual political flux. All eyes are now on election of the chairman of the National Assembly, Nepal's upper house, on the 12th of March. The Dahal Deoba government had fallen on this issue. Will it be smoother sailing under a new coalition? Nepal's Game of Thrones is not new. Since 2008, when Nepal declared itself a republic, that's the last 16-odd years, Nepal has had 8 prime ministers and a chief justice as caretaker PM. That's 1 every 2 years on average, besides a dozen or more government combinations. Most of all, the stage has been dominated by these 3 men, Sher Bahadur Deoba, Pushpa Kamal Dahal or Prachanda, and KP Sharma Oli, all in their 70s, all pulling their political strings. And the irony of it couldn't be more glaring. Nepal's youth, taken as people between 16 and 40, make up a whopping 42.56% of the country's population, as per the latest census. A so-called youth bulge in the country is hitting hard. Creating jobs has always been a big challenge. Extend that now to retaining youth amid massive migration and brain drain trends. It is in this light that the game of musical chairs between 3 septuagenarians becomes even more jarring. Nepal clearly has big corrections to make, and a leadership blamed as out of sync with real needs paints a difficult road ahead.
Well, moving to Bangladesh, where a massive fire broke out in a multi-story building in Dhaka last week, leaving 46 people dead. The incident has yet again highlighted the inadequate safety measures in Bangladesh's cramped building spaces. But the bigger question is, what is causing the repeated fire tragedies in the country?
The accident happened 10-15 minutes after my sister and her daughter entered the building. My sister called her husband immediately. She informed him that they went to dine there and the place caught fire and that they were trapped. Then all of us tried to contact both of them many a times, but they did not respond to their phones.
When the fire started in the front and broke the glass, our cashier and servicemen got everyone out, but both of them died later. I went to the kitchen, broke a window and jumped to save myself.
Harrowing tales of yet another fire tragedy in Bangladesh. This time, the flames raced through a 6-story building in Dhaka late on the 29th of February, killing at least 46 people and injuring dozens. The fire originated in a biryani restaurant and quickly spread to other floors. The cause? A gas leak or a stove, according to fire authorities. Bangladesh police has arrested 3 persons, including 2 owners of the restaurant. The fire department said the building owner has been served notices at least 3 times to make corrections in fire emergency readiness.
This building only has one staircase. Moreover, the area where people laid unconscious from smoke has no ventilation.
Local authorities say the building did not have permission for restaurants. The complex had permissions only for offices. But it turns out the building had 8 restaurants, a juice bar and a tea and coffee shop. Bangladesh has a history of such infernos in commercial buildings, in Dhaka and outside. Booming domestic industry often means buildings where inadequate safety measures often go unchecked. Unplanned urbanization has made cities more prone to such incidents. In June 2022, more than 40 people were killed and 200 injured after a fire broke out in a depot near the southern port city of Chittagong. Officials said the fire could have been caused by a container of hydrogen peroxide as safety regulations were flouted. A year before that, in July 2021, a fire killed at least 52 people in a food processing factory outside Dhaka that officials said was built without permission and lacked safety measures. In February of 2019, a fire killed at least 70 people in a building in Old Dhaka with shops and a plastic warehouse gutted. Illegally stored inflammable chemicals were blamed. In April 2013, at least 1,136 people died and hundreds were injured in the country's worst industrial accident when an 8-story building, Rana Plaza, near Dhaka, home to 5 garment factories, collapsed. Last year too, an inferno raged through a popular clothing market in the capital's oldest neighborhood. The Bangladesh Garment Manufacturers and Exporters Association warned in an open letter last year that rising temperatures were heightening the risk of fire in garment factories and could lead to more disasters. The real question is, when will authorities wake up?
And well, that's a wrap on this edition of Inside South Asia. But before we go, the holy month of Ramadan is all set to begin on March 10th. And South Asia, which is home to more than 650 million Muslims, is all geared up for the festivities. We leave you with these visuals. I'm Bhairavi Singh, signing off.